What is the one thing that all e-mountain bike riders need which will improve and enhance their riding experience like no other? In today's video, we're going to be dispatching some of the myths, but please do let us know if you agree or disagree in the comments. Okay, first up, let's talk about power and the whole idea that maybe we need increasing amounts of power. Now, believe me, we are about to enter a battle, a global battle between motor brands when it comes to torque and peak power. But power alone isn't actually enough. We actually need to understand the behavior of the motor as well. So such things as overrun, as how the motor engages at different cadence levels. But I think it's important to understand that many brands are actually still learning about motor power. They're learning about technical hill climbing and what's involved in being able to conquer those situations. But motor power isn't the one thing that's going to improve your riding experience. What I'm looking for actually transcends that. Maybe we're talking about range, maybe that's the important thing. Let's face it, in the past 10 years, we've seen battery capacity double from 500 watt hours to motors which now have, about 900 to 1,000 watt hours in the down tube. Just to put a context on that, I can now do a ride, and I'm 95 kilos, I can now do a ride on a bike such as the Kelly's F100 with an 820 watt hour battery. I can ride that bike at turbo for I think it's just under 3 hours, and I'm doing 1,700 meters of climbing and 40 kilometers. Believe me, at the end of that ride, I'm pretty much spent. But battery range actually is not the thing either. So many of you are going to be thinking, it has to be weight, right? Weight is the thing that everybody is talking about at the moment. And a little bit like motor power, in the last 2 years, we've definitely entered a weight battle as well. And I think it's become an era where some product managers and marketers at least, have been kidding us. They've been trying to fool us about these false weights because we've got enduro bikes built with component specifications which are simply not up for the job in hand. But is weight important? It is important, I think. I think it's important that there's like a pocket, there's a range between, say, 18 and 25, 26 kilos, which works. But I think weight is only really important if you're maybe lifting your e-mountain bike over a gate or a wall or something like that. So I think weight is kind of a nonsense. I need to lose weight for sure. And I'd probably put me losing weight as number 2 in the list of things that will improve my riding. Okay, what about adjustability of your e-bike? Yeah, possibly, that could be a good thing, but I think more importantly than that are such things as geometry and sizing. Now, geometry is important because good geometry will allow you to climb and descend. So in terms of descending ability, you've got head tube angle, bottom bracket height. If you've got a bottom bracket height of around about 340 to 350, you're all good. And a chainstay length, chainstays now seem to be kind of getting around about 445 to 450 for good climbing ability on your eMTB. And more importantly than that, you've got seat tube angles. We're looking at seat tube angles now on e-mountain bikes around about 78 to 80 degrees, which means you can get your body weight centered on the bike. Sizing, I would definitely put bike sizing in the top 5 of things which will improve your riding experience. And again, it's linked to the balance of your bike. If you get an e-mountain bike which you can sit in the middle of it, when you can stand on the bike and you've got equal weight on both the front and rear tyre, that's a good place to be. The problem with sizing, and you might have seen other videos on the channel, is that all brands have got their own philosophy. Yeah, seat is definitely important because on an e-mountain bike, you do ride a lot more sat down on the saddle. You're climbing, technical climbing is something which requires a seat which has got a bit of give. You've got a seat which you can get your body weight onto the nose of that to kind of balance your body weight. So I think it is important, but still, it's not number one. Suspension travel, yes, for sure. I think suspension travel will give you more grip and comfort in certain situations, but do not think for one moment that more dials on your fork or your shock is going to increase your performance massively. It will if you get them dialed in, but the trouble with dials and suspension settings is they kind of are relative to the terrain you ride, whether it's mud or rock or root or different earth types. So in as much as it's important, it's not top of the list. Right, look, it's got to be price, right? Price above all other things is going to make your riding more enjoyable, for sure. But will it enhance your riding? No, it will not. Look, I'll hold you no longer. There is one thing above all others which I've just talked about, which puts them in second place or third place or fourth place, and that is grip. Now, e-mountain bikes are super special. They are the breed which enable us to climb and descend and to get to ever more complicated places. And this is actually taken me 10 years to really get a deeper understanding of the subject. And I think it's not just about the tires. Well, it is about the tires. It's not just about the tread pattern or the brand or the volume of the tire. It's actually about the durometer of the tire. You need to have a tire which is thermally stable. Now, I've noticed this over the past few years in scenarios where you might one moment be riding in dry conditions on a certain type of rock, on a certain temperature. Where the front might come in, there might be more rain, the temperature might drop, and you'll go from a scenario where you've got lots of control, you're not spinning the back tire, to a situation where it actually feels like you've never ridden an e-mountain bike before. So like I said, the power, the geometry, all these things count for nothing if you've not got grip on the rear tire. Now, Pirelli is a partner of ours, but I think we can apply this to all brands. You go for a soft compound tire. Now, this tire is a 42A as an example. Obviously, there's a good tread pattern on it, a good sidewall, which enables you to lower the pressures to under 20 PSI. So there you go, folks. That is the one thing which transcends all other things on your e-mountain bike. It's grip and it's tire durometer. Now, I'm fully expecting a bit of debate around the subject, and I do want to qualify it as well. If you're riding in dirt, the subject is probably less important, but if you're riding rock and you're riding streams and you're riding mountains, it's the difference between completion or failure of a technical climb. So all these things, folks, power, we are in a power battle, fancy paintwork, adjustable suspension, fancy forks, pricing of all these bikes. It counts for nothing if you haven't got grip. So let us know your thoughts. Please get involved in the comments and let's have a discussion about this, because what I want to know is how tires are, I'd like to know what different types of tires as well, by the way, how they affect your performance in different climates, weather conditions and geology. So please, let's get in a discussion and help all riders on e-mountain bikes get a deeper understanding and an ability to really fully use their e-mountain bikes to the full.